what's up, man? Honesty on the Table, episode 2. Yeah. We about to really get into it, fellas. We about to really get into it. We're gonna look at ourselves.
Okay.
Introspection. Look at ourselves. Introspection. All right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So welcome to it, everyone. This is Jalen here. 1/4 of Honesty on the Table amongst my brothers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Everybody shout yourself out.
Marlo.
Yeah.
You already know it's Michael Phillips coming in the building. Everybody who knows me, my name goes
I was like, what? I was like, do I go or does he go? You know?
It's all good, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Elijah Porter, the lawyer, man. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yes,
Elijah Porter, the lawyer.
Yeah.
I like that.
Your name on my phone is President Porter.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah, President Porter, man.
Yeah.
But we here, man. Honesty on the Table. Our mission here is to cultivate a space where vulnerability, transparency, and humble curiosity serve as our healthy roots for individual and collective progress. Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to see y'all, man, you know, healthy and vibrant. You know what I'm saying? In good places, man. It's good to be here with y'all. All right, man. So when we get into it, self-awareness is key. So how you feeling on the check-in? You know, we got to do our mental health check-ins. Yeah. You know, mind, body, and spirit. How y'all feeling?
Hey, man, listen, I got a motherfucking problem real quick. I want to share y'all something real quick.
Damn, what should be?
Damn, we get right to it.
Yo.
He turned the mic. Let me go ahead and turn mine to him.
Like, real talk,
He
though.
said,
Let me talk to y'all real quick.
All right.
Yeah.
Why Betty White have to die so quickly, bro?
Damn.
She was almost there at 100, bro.
Things I didn't know you was gonna go there.
Bro,
Everything I swear I didn't know you was going there.
Betty, she was almost at 100. She was a week away from her birthday, bro.
Yeah.
I swear. No cap. Did y'all not peep the memes during 2020 when the pandemic was going on? Like, bro, save Betty. Save Betty.
I don't remember that.
Oh, bro, it was Save Betty 2020, bro.
That was the thing?
Save Betty White, bro. That's my problem, bro. Rest in peace to Betty White, dog. Rest in peace to her, bro. She was a true pioneer
What does
in her
that have
age.
to do with your mental? Well, I guess it does.
Because it's been fucking with me, dog.
No,
it's been fucking with me. Because she
She
literally paved the way.
At this point, we don't know what. No, Jalen.
I mean, with me being black,
Let me tell you. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you a fact. Let me tell you a fact.
paved the way.
Let me tell you a fact. Betty White was one of the first people to have a black entertainer on her show that she was hosting, and her producers was like, "Yo, we don't want that black entertainer on." She said, "Yo, he's gonna be on the whole segment."
Yeah.
Okay, so you know,
She paved the way. We respect Betty White, bro. Rest in peace, Betty White. That's all I gotta say.
All right, shout out for her.
I mean, at this point, we don't know what to expect from Mike. Last episode, he told us. So last episode, we find out he got married on air, like literally with the rest of everybody else that's watching.
He's putting that honesty on the table.
Honesty on the table.
He was upholding the mission.
And then this episode, we find out he's in love with Betty White. So I don't know.
First of all, bro, my girl watches, so shout out to my baby and my wife.
Okay, yeah.
Mandela.
Special. Yeah.
I love you.
Absolutely.
All right, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, how about Elijah?
so
you know what I'm saying? Marlo, how y'all feeling? You know, I'm checking in with y'all. How y'all doing? Well,
I had a frustrating week, bro.
Yeah.
Talk to us,
I'm supposed to
brother.
start this new government contracting job, bro. Right?
Indeed.
You know, niggas supposed to be leaving soon.
What leaving with you?
It's like a private security.
Yeah.
Government contract.
It's top secret
so
though, so we ain't gonna talk about it.
Basically, I go on these different missions, these different deployments.
You and your Jason Bourne, like.
Nah, I ain't no assassin.
Oh, okay, I'm like, bro, he different, bro. Like,
I ain't no assassin.
No, for real.
Bro, but it was just like a traveling gig, and I was really about to damn near drop everything I had going on here, and they changed the date on me, bro. And I don't really like that. See, that's why I don't like them jobs. Indeed. That's why I'm always on my entrepreneurship bag because, again, that's reminding me of the control that they had when I was, did my 10 years in the military.
So, but you feel like, again, it's a great opportunity at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
because it's flexible. Like, once I get through the door, get trained up, like, at that point, I'm just on call when the mission calls. So they call me, be like, hey, Mr. Boyz, we got a mission for you from March to May. Are you available? I can be like, no.
Right.
but still keep my job. Then they'll just call me on the next one or when they got a next one. And if those dates don't work, then those dates don't work.
I mean,
so it's kind of flexible. It's just the beginning, getting my foot through the door, where it's frustrating.
Yo, this shit gonna fall, man.
no, yeah, I mean, and if there's no mission,
Gotta get my life together.
there's no submission.
You alright, brother?
You alright?
I mean, it's little technicals, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. You know, you trying to run a podcast, and you trying to get your mics together, man.
I'm saying, I get the plastic out. Remember
You
having
know what I'm saying? And
Oh,
then,
word.
what everybody
Put me on.
what everybody must remember, if there is no mission, see a lot of times, you know, men want to jump to the submission piece, but if there's no mission, there is no submission. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, say it one more time.
You know what I mean, bro? I just came over there on the spot.
Hold on.
Yeah, I just came, but it's real though, cause
I got-
sub means under, so that means over. You must overstand your Come on, you must overstand your purpose. If there is no mission, there's no submission.
Thank you, sir.
If you ain't on your purpose, your grind, she can't listen.
See Porter holding it down.
That's a
man.
fact,
I'm
bro.
sitting over here struggling. and
Okay,
shit.
brother.
My
Okay,
mic about
brother.
to fall on my
You know
face
what I'm
and shit.
saying?
And he holding it down.
Hey man, he had a
You know what I
cover.
mean?
He had a cover
Yeah.
up.
Hey, wait,
Yeah,
say,
I
wait,
appreciate it,
say,
man.
say one more time, brother.
If there's no mission, there's no submission.
Okay, that's a fact.
Okay, get on your purpose and your grind out here, fellas. And to answer the question, Jalen, we in good spirits, man. It was a decent week out here, man.
Goddamn, I thought that was the question. I thought you was answering it by saying the mission submission.
Man, my man, this is, you know what I'm saying? We've been out here.
All right. Bet. You know what I'm saying? Well, for me, you know, it's another week forward. You know, every day above ground is a good day.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm very thankful. Again, always blessed and highly favored. All right, so let's get into it. Let's break bread. Gentlemen, let's break bread. We got to do our health and finance. So for the health, let's... So for the health, we're staying physically fit, right? So it always improves cardiovascular and muscular health and helps fight disease. Exercising also has been shown to reduce stress and improve your overall mood. So let's try to squeeze in at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise each week. The minimum recommended by the American Heart Association. So let's just be mindful of, you know, it's as simple as just going for a good walk. You know what I'm saying? It has dual benefits of just walking, essentially, you know, not only just for your benefit of you just being active, but also it helps clear your thoughts, man. If you actually give yourself the time to think and exhale and step away, literally step away from whatever you're doing, you actually find that it proves more benefits to you than just physical.
Wow.
Hey, Jay, I love walking.
Okay.
I love running.
Yeah.
But you know what I like doing better than both of those?
Say that.
Sex. All right. What is it?
Cardiovascular.
Yeah.
My brother.
Yeah.
Sex does amazing things to both of those, man.
No,
Word.
that's a fact.
Hey, shout out to sex.
Yo,
Shout out to sex, man.
shout out to sex, man.
Shout out to sex,
Shout out to
man.
sex. Yo,
That's all the workout. That's all the workout we need,
That's definitely a future
man.
episode. We talk about that sex,
That's it, man. That's all the workout we need.
You need to make sure.
This gonna be a list of
makes
sex
sense.
facts. This gonna be a list of sex facts.
Yeah, you need
You
to
know
make
what
sure
I'm
it makes
saying?
sense.
Yeah, sex. Actually,
Y'all niggas,
good sex, good. Wait,
Oh,
I don't
good
want to get
sex.
into it, but good sex
y'all niggas different.
definitely has to make sense. It
has to make
starts with the
sense.
chemistry first.
It's
You
at
know?
least
You know what I'm saying?
25 minutes good sex.
Bro.
But we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, no,
That's another subject for another day.
That's a whole different.
Finance,
You're right.
finance.
You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
Let's get to the
Finance tip.
Yeah, we gonna get into it. Well, yo, one of our personal finances most repeated mantra is pay yourself first. All right, no matter how much you owe in student loans or credit card debt, and no matter how low your salary may seem, it's wise to find some amount, any amount of money in your budget to sock away in an emergency fund every month. Having money and savings to use for emergencies can keep you out of trouble financially and help you sleep better at night. Wow.
Sally Mae, stop calling my phone.
Hey, listen,
I'm not answering, bro.
It's been getting deferred.
That's it.
Right
I'm
now,
just gonna
It's
defer
deferred
every
until,
time.
like,
Joe,
May.
what's up?
Yeah, till May.
To May right now.
To May.
Right?
Well, for me, it's to August 2026. That's the benefit of being in school.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? You just in deferment.
Yeah,
You know, as long as
Shout
you're
out
in
to
school.
Dr. Jalen.
You know what I'm saying?
What's it makes me want to? We drink into that? Like what's Yeah, what
toast to deferment. I mean,
toast to deferment.
Oh no,
toast to
brother.
deferment, and you
Toast
taking
to
advantage
deferment.
of you putting some money away in your emergency fund until your deferment lifts. And
So
shit.
no cap.
Because people been asking what we've been drinking, and I'm like, listen, like we're drinking what the sponsors are. You know, listen.
We got the red.
We got the red.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Pop Inferno. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Paying tribute to a time-honored craft, this wine has been aged for 60 days in whiskey barrels, creating bold notes of red and dark fruit with layers of maple and spice.
Yo, bro, I feel like I was in Napa Valley.
You know what I'm saying?
I felt like I was in Napa Valley. I was
You know
in
what I'm
Napa
saying?
Valley. I had to
Shit.
be. I had to be.
Word.
Yo, yeah, let's
Hey,
go.
side note,
Yeah.
I will always have water or ginger on this cup.
Oh, all right. So real talk. Hold on.
Is the
Our
difference between a
listeners,
single cup
fair facts.
and the
And a
double?
double cup.
So real talk,
Okay.
listeners, I need y'all to listen up real
I
quick.
got
all right?
ginger ale in this
Double cup.
this round.
Double
You know what I'm
cup. Double cup.
Ginger ale in this-
Waukesha.
in
My
this
man,
Waukesha.
single cup. What does that mean? All that means is that my man don't drink ever,
Yeah.
ever, nigga, ever.
That's discipline right there.
Talking about some hookah though.
Oh man.
We're gonna talk about that. All right, just know he don't drink.
Yo. Yeah, he hookah king.
Yeah.
He hookah
talking
king.
about hookah now.
No, you remember it was like 12 in the afternoon, and then Mike was like, "What are you doing?" And 12.
bro.
But
My
you-
man-
Hey, Mike, that was like you
Moses-
came from a judgmental place when you said that, bro. It was like 12. We was on
it was 12.
FaceTime. You was like, "Bro, what are you doing at 12 in the afternoon?" Marlon was like, "Bro, you don't just smoke at 12 in the afternoon." I was like, "Yo, it's wild."
Shit crazy.
Yeah, come on, bro.
I'm telling you, man. Like
Yeah.
the last episode, we was talking about marriage.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing, as we was conversing about marriage, we was talking a lot about what is required of both the man and because we're all identified as heterosexual men. So what the man and the woman can bring to the union, but fellas, we haven't even looked at the man for real. We didn't even look at ourselves, and that's what brings us to this podcast episode.
Okay.
You know, we're defining manhood. Think you're a man, huh? Pay some bills, pay some taxes.
Yo.
Gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Had sex a couple times for 25 minutes at least.
Right.
You're a man, huh?
Right.
At
Yeah,
least
man.
25 minutes,
Yeah.
ladies.
Yo, but according to the dictionary, definition of manhood, first off, is condition of being a human being. Now, again, as a future sociologist, why in the hell is the condition of being a human being first, the first line of the definition of manhood? What? That's how you know. Merriam-Webster means white men wrote this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Wait,
and they only identify.
say that one more time.
Merriam-Webster means white men wrote this shit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Right.
indeed.
White, patriarchal, hegemonic, sexist men wrote this. Okay? You got to dig deeper than that. But that's why we're here for this podcast, right? We're going to dig deeper in terms of what manhood
Absolutely.
really means, right?
Absolutely.
So, we got according to Wikipedia, the difference between manhood and masculinity, because I was sort of kind of tongue-tied between the two, right? Mm-hmm. Manhood is the state of being a man as a human being, while masculinity is the qualities or attributes regarded as characteristic of men. So, i.e., handsome, muscled, muscle-bound, driven, he's a prime example of masculinity.
Okay.
So, we have manhood as a guy, a cisgender woman. When you hear the term cisgender, that means your biological sex matches your identified gender. So you was born biologically as a male, quote unquote, and you identify yourself as a man. Both of those things have to coexist in order for you to classify yourself as cisgender. Right? So when you hear cisgender, it's usually in reference to someone who identifies and agrees with their biological sex and as they identify themselves. Okay?
Absolutely.
So,
okay.
right? So masculinity, you see, is more so like in the qualities or the actions or attributes. Right? So when you're thinking about it, what defines a man?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Figuring it the fuck out.
Okay.
For me, at least, right? So,
That's a good place.
so for me,
Start.
I'm a solution-based man, right? I like to see the problem and figure it out. Problem solve. Very simple. So for me and my partner, right? I like to say that, I'm not saying that like just I'm the only person that has everything figured out, because it's not true. All right, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. My wife has everything figured out more than me, okay? But as a man in the household, I like to make sure I always think about solution-based. I'm not gonna say equations, but I'm gonna say solution-based, like problem solving.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So like when an issue arises, right? Instead of
You solution oriented. That's
right.
what
So yeah, I'm very solution oriented. And I feel like most men are.
Right.
You know, like okay, what's the problem? What's the issue? What needs to be solved? What is X? Right.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna figure out X because that's my job. You know, like as the man of the household, or as the man of the relationship, or as the man just living in the house. Hey, mom, what's the issue? Oh, we don't have enough money for the rent. As the 16-year-old man, or you know the boy becoming the man, we got to figure it out. Because at the end of the day, we're not trying to be in the streets.
Right.
And what you're speaking to is a man being defined and chiseled by the adversity. You see, because a lot of times, a lot of times people have this idea that being a man is, I got all the money, I got all the solutions, I have everything figured out. When in essence, it's about how you respond when you don't. When you going through trials and tribulations, who are you? When your bank account hit zero, do you still have that same confidence, that same shit that you was talking way back when? You know what I mean? Like no, but for real though, bro. Like, do you still have that same energy that you were putting on when your account had a couple hundred, a couple thousand in it, or is it different? Do you still have that same level of aggression and assertiveness when you know that you're still figuring things out? I think to me, the essence of a man is based on the principle of who he is when the adversity hits. Jeez. And if you're not really that, and we can see that, and we know you fraudulent, we gonna see right through that, bro. You ain't who you say you are. You a fraud, and we see it.
Dang, talk to him. Why it's like you calling people out?
I'm sorry. No. I saw somebody. I'm like, come on.
Out here.
And if we see you,
we see that. We gonna see right through that.
That's it, bro. And you ain't pushing P.
pushing P.
You ain't pushing P, bro. That's it.
P, bro. That's a fact, bro.
Talk to him, Marlo.
That's a fact, bro.
Pushing P, bro. Why you on the head, bro?
Oh God,
bro, on the head, bro.
I mean, between both. I mean,
I agree 1,000%, bro. You took the words.
Yeah.
That was it.
Cause that shit be different, bro. Cause we gotta admit, bro. Cause it's easy when you're on top. But who are you when you're in the valley? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like that, like, bro, like, what is your character like? How are you moving? You know what I'm saying, bro? It's easy. I got all the resources. I got all the capital. Like, bro, like, come on. I'm a, you know what I mean? Like, even like where I am now. Okay, I'm an attorney. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like outside.
Bro,
you know
I
what
can give
mean?
you the perfect example of that shit.
Yeah.
Bro. So like, when I was like 14 years old, bro? My dad lost his job, bro. Like, you know, I'm talking about 10, 15 years in, right?
Wow.
My mom had to hold down the house, 4 kids. Like, 4 kids deep.
Wow.
By herself. My mom was only making 50 grand a year.
Wow.
Shit ain't skip a beat.
Wow.
Let me tell you what that would do to a man's pride, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom's out here taking care of the bills. She doing all the shit she need to do in order to take. What did my dad do, bro? My dad held it down, bro. Like, and I'm talking about holding it down from a different standpoint than what people usually think. My dad was doing what? He was cleaning the house. He was making sure we was all, you know, doing our homework. We was fed. We was, you know what I'm saying, while my mom was still working. And also at the same time, my dad was looking for jobs. He was going to interviews. He was doing everything he needed to do to get back on track. But while my mom held it down, my dad was still, my dad was holding it down, but from a different standpoint, in the sense of a traditional standpoint, when it's like, okay, the man works, the mom takes care of the house. Well, guess what? My mom take care of the house. Guess what my dad did? Excuse me. My mother took care of the bills, and my dad was taking care of the house. But my dad, he took care of the house and still was looking for jobs and still making sure he was on that trajectory to become I ain't gonna say necessarily the head of the household, but he was becoming the.
Well, he was redefining what the head of the household really means. Because when you think about head of the household, you always just think of, okay, the breadwinner and someone who comes in, pretty much handles the bills.
Right.
Pretty much maintains the structure and helps allocate the influence and power and the way in which the culture moves throughout the household.
Right. So
but it doesn't necessarily mean.
I'm gonna add something to defining manhood is being flexible and adapting to the situation that you have in front of you.
Right.
Okay, I don't have the job, but guess what? My wife is taking care of the house. I'm gonna be the best fucking version of myself for my family, so that while my wife is holding down that front, I can hold down the home front. It's all about being flexible. I don't think the man has to be the breadwinner. I don't think the man has to be the guy who just solves everything. I think a man has to be adjustable. Has to be able to fit any scenario that's given to him. Talk to me, brother.
50-50 on that.
Yeah. No. I'm with you, and then I think about it's.
Not permanent though. Not permanent.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's because
my dad could have been on a job. Yo.
I was
real talk.
6 months.
6 months. No.
Yeah.
So my dad was out of a job for a year, right? Yeah. But I don't think there's no time limit. And when I say no time limit, I'm talking about no time limit when it comes to finding the job after you put out of work. Like, if obviously my dad was out of a job for 5 years, nigga, we looking at the nigga like, yo, what's going on? Right. But at the end of the day, it's all about what's comfortable between, obviously, my father and my mother at the time during that situation. Whatever their partnership is, what it is, like, hey, baby, I'll hold it down for a year or two, and then we got to make something shake. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's how it was with my father and my mother. But I don't necessarily believe that, there's a 6-month time limit or a year time limit. As long as everybody's on the same page.
And plus, as long as your progress is exponential.
Yeah.
Right. Because think about it, like if you're getting, did he get laid off? I don't know your story. Did he?
He got laid off.
Okay,
he got laid off.
After that, if that happens to either of us, I'm thinking, okay, well, shit, that means I got to level up.
Right.
That means that takes time for me to prepare to level up for that.
Just to agree with that.
That means me reassessing my resume, reconnect with my network, me. You know what I'm saying? Getting my mind and mental, whatever it takes for however long to level up. But I'm damn sure I'm not going. I damn sure I'm moving lateral.
So that's exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not moving lateral.
So that's exactly what happened, Jay. So like my dad at the time was working for Wyndham Hotels, right? He was doing their computers and shit like that. Yeah. By the time my dad found another job, he was a software engineer for a Fortune 100 company. And I know you guys know what Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 is, right? Yeah. So like computer engineer from a manager is a different fucking pay scale. Indeed. So I agree with exactly 1,000% what you're saying, Jay.
And so what we're looking at, listen, I'm real big on just contextualizing scripture. Ecclesiastic is 25:22, which in essence, right, just summarizing it, it's about making sure that, okay, when a woman maintains a man, she starts to grow a certain level of contempt and disdain toward that man that she's with. And the reason why I think that that's important is that, okay, it's important for the woman to understand that if there's a situation that occurs where I'm moved in a position to where I no longer can support the family like I used to, and you can sort of kind of take over me, similar to how we was talking about the Gucci and Keisha situation. That's a temporary situation, but it's not long standing. Because I've seen so many divorces, I've seen so many separations, I've seen so much resentment when a woman feels like she has had to take care of a man. So we got to make sure that at the same time, when we're talking about manhood, it's about making sure that the woman is in the proper position.
In those situations, when the woman loses respect for the man who's trying, like we have the example of like Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith.
Right.
He was depicting Chris Gardner. I read the book. I think the book is better than the film. He went through a lot more trials than the movie. And to just put it plainly, But in that instance, his wife lost respect for him and left him when he was really making the effort. And I always advocate for, as long as you're making the effort and you're doing that while also nurturing and taking care of your children the best you can, and you leave me, it's like, well, damn, I guess you didn't deserve me more so than I didn't deserve you, because it's like, what the.
That is real.
It's like I was gonna curse, but I was just like, what the fuck is having faith then? When people say, you gotta have faith, you gotta endure. What do you do in times in which you have adverse situations and circumstances that, again, it is out of your control? Yeah. You have to dig yourself out of that hole, and there's no telling when the roses and the stars and stripes is gonna come afoot. You're just gonna have to continue to grind it out. And why am I held as a man or anyone? Why are we held liable for things that we partially have no control over, and then we are left to those certain consequences?
Okay, so going back to the concept of manhood, is it our responsibility to have a level of discernment on the type of woman that we decide to coexist with in a quote-unquote marriage, where we're able to discern if this woman is truly a quote-unquote ride or die?
And as we talk about, Mike, he shared his example, of his father and his mother, being, I wouldn't say, the ride or die thing is sort of kind of get played out.
It does. But I'm saying, conceptually.
I guess when you think about that, Mike, I think we're going to build on Elijah's point. But Mike, as we go back to you, how did you witnessing your father growing up influence your manhood? Do you have a good relationship with your father? Where do y'all stand? And I leave that. I start with him because he shared his father first, and I'm gonna relay it back to all of us, because our relationship with our fathers and what we witness them do definitely influence about who we are, and how we define, and what using discernment in terms of what choices to make as we garner our sense of self as a man.
So I'll tell you this, all right? I love my dad. I love my father. My dad's been in my life all my life. All right, shout out to Pops. Shout out to Michael Phillips Sr. I'm a junior, so you already know what it is. Always got loyalty to my father. But I'll tell you this, it wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? My dad was different. Like, the man he is now wasn't the man he was when I was growing up. Right. I was scared of my father. Real talk. I feel like, I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. In the black community, I feel like, when it comes to being a parent or even fatherhood, mostly, it's kind of like that Kanye West slave mentality in a sense, where it's like, I don't believe in beating my kids, right? I don't believe in physically putting my hands on my kids, right? So growing up, it was totally different. You know what I'm saying? I got beat as a child. You know what I'm saying? For weird shit. Popping popcorn without asking. Type shit, you know what I'm saying? Right. Asking,
drink to that.
Permission, not asking permission to do certain things. I got beat for that. So growing up, I was scared to talk to my dad about stuff, about sex, you know what I'm saying? About finances, about anything that I felt like he was going to be disappointed enough in me to where I felt like I was going to get physically harmed. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm 29 years old, right? My dad is a totally different man from when I was 18 years old. We're talking about 10 years ago. At this point, fucking 11 years ago. You know what I'm saying? My dad is a totally different person. And as an adult, I can talk to him about more things now. But growing up, I was scared to confront him about things, to approach him about mistakes that I made or questions that I had about sex, about marriage, about women, about finances, and I didn't, me moving forward nowadays, I wouldn't move that way. But even my dad being the man he is now, he would never wanted that to happen, to me, or for me to feel this way as a man. So my relationship with my father, when I graduated, I didn't speak to him. I ain't gonna lie.
Graduated from where?
Like high school. I didn't speak to him. Nigga, I didn't even let him know that I graduated college, bro. Do you feel me? Marlo was the only person I knew that I graduated, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because I hated my father. It wasn't because I didn't want to talk to him. It's because I just had this thing when I grew up that I had this level of expectation and level of fear that I was like, yo, I can't meet that. Like, or I'm afraid. And it wasn't until I confronted myself. It wasn't until I went to therapy.
Shout out to therapy.
Shout out to therapy, bro. Real talk. Shout out to therapy, man. Us as black people, man, we always get this stigma up under ourselves that, oh, therapy is a bad thing. Talking about your feelings or whatever is a bad thing, bro. Therapy has saved my life. Do you hear me? It saved my relationship. It saved my marriage, bro.
Go every other week, man.
Real talk. I go every week. Same person. Dr. Tucker. Shout out to Dr. Tucker, man. All right. Stone Mountain.
That's a free plug.
Go see that, man. That's a free plug. Real talk.
That's sponsorship coming.
Because it has really allowed me to grow as a man, to realize that, you know what? That was my father's mentality. My dad didn't have a father growing up. My dad thought that being there in my life was it. Period. And I respect him and I appreciate him for that. Because my dad was there for everything. For all the good things, all the bad things. You know what I'm saying? For me fucking up in school, for me doing well in school. He was there for every single thing. He didn't care if it cost him his job. He didn't care if it cost him arguments with my mother. He was always there for me, and I respect that from my father. And me as a man now, and learning from the things that my father did or the things that I grew up on, I know that moving forward, I want a different relationship with my kids. I want my kids to approach me about anything. I want to create an environment and a safe space for anybody, not just my kids, my wife, my friends, my family members, to come to me about anything they need to do. That's just me personally, you know what I'm saying? But I want to actually push this question to Marlo and ask you about yourself, bro. Like, give me your perspective of everything about that, man.
Okay, so backstory. I believe my mom and dad separated when I was, I want to say transitioning from 3rd or 4th grade. My mom left my dad, and since then, we really didn't have a relationship. I wouldn't say we really didn't have a relationship. Like, he'll show up here on his weekends, but barely did that. He didn't really participate in any school activities. I believe I played every sport to man, other than like fucking tennis
and basketball, brother.
And I didn't play basketball.
I
actually did.
He did not play basketball.
You were on the swim team. Yeah, bro was on the swim team.
Hold on.
Bro is different, bro.
Talk.
Bro is different.
History fact. What swim team was you on, Marlo?
What you mean?
What movie was based upon your swim team, brother?
You talking about the
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. But
Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Right. What's the name of it?
What's his
Nigga, it's your swim team. I don't know.
What wasn't I?
Shout out to the Southside Bar High School.
Right, I know more high school had a movie based on, the swim team.
Yeah.
We just talking about some hood baby
Right,
shit.
Hey, it's gonna be in the caption below what the movie is.
Pride.
Pride.
There we go. Shout out to our producer.
Hey, shout out to the audience. Shout out to the audience trying to get it right.
See me and Dollar Bill. I was trying to act like, oh shit.
Okay, yeah.
But good.
When they play basketball with no dick.
Yeah. But to get back to it, my father was around, but wasn't around. That makes sense. Like, since the separation, my dad always lived within 10 to 15 minutes from us, regardless of where we moved, whether we were sleeping on the floor, roommating, same bed, whatever, house, apartment, whatever. But his presence wasn't there. So in a sense, how you were saying your father was always there, but you guys didn't really have the emotional connection, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing, but I like both. So I like his presence, and I like the emotional connection. So growing up, I really didn't depend on my dad for much. I didn't really ask him for much. My mama, I think, put him on child support about time, maybe like 2-3 years after divorce. He barely paid that, but sooner or later he got his shit together. And then as I grew up, I was the man of the house. So the only manhood or like fatherly things that I received was like my coaches in sports. Like I used to have this language arts teacher back at Sequoia Middle School named Mr. White. He was a mentor. Back in Monroe, we had...
Shout out to Mr. White.
Yeah, back in Monroe, we had Mr. Yale. What's his name? Busy Essentials.
Oh, yeah, or Diop. Well, Diop.
Diop. Colbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had like mentors like that.
Yeah.
And that kind of paved the way in a sense. Dr. Muhammad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Muhammad
counselor.
was cool.
Yeah. And I would say like me and my dad relationship really didn't become a thing until like I didn't need him no more.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So when I wasn't no longer really dependent on him as a father, my resentment level for him
Like so dissipated.
Yeah. Cause now it's like, nigga, I'm me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So by this time I done went to the military, I done came back, and I'm on some like, nigga, I'm me now, bro. What's good?
So were you looking at him in more like a father standpoint? Oh, not a father, like a friendship standpoint? Or was it like...
I mean, personally, like, it had to been a friend standpoint. Because we had many times within, like, as I was discovering myself, like, my senior year and shit, like, where he actually tried, I wasn't really having it. Because you know what dads do when they not around, and then they come around, they want to son you. But it's like, bro, you missed that.
Yeah.
Fifth grade, fourth grade, bro, that was your time to, I need you to do this, you do this like that.
Right.
Bro, I'm 17, 16, bro, I ain't hearing none of that, bro.
Wow.
I'm buying my school clothes, I'm doing everything. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we didn't really build a bond until I was like 18, and it was just really on the basis of when I didn't need him no more.
That's real.
But you know what's crazy about that, Marlo?
Mm-hmm.
It was the same thing for me, brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Like until I
Yeah.
until I graduated my high school
Right.
and I moved out and got my own shit.
Damn.
Me and my father took off on a different connection.
Actually, it was the funniest thing for me. Like my pops the same way. Like I said, share with y'all last episode. You know, my mom, my dad. You know, they had me out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was because the relationship was it was rocky, man. It was a lot, and me being born into that, you know, growing up and listening to arguments and fights about, you know, whether it be infidelity or, you know what I'm saying, substance abuse or, you know, money not being, you know, allocated appropriately to make sure that, you know, not necessarily lights was on because mom made sure that shit happened, but in terms of making sure that my father had provided that cloak of security and consistency that we speak of, that wasn't there. And again, me being the oldest, I had to be the man of the house, and it wasn't when I knew shit was real was when I was about around 12, 11, and mom was like, yo, I gotta move some bills around, and you know, we went without we went without. And with me being 11, 12, we needed money, and I felt like I couldn't do anything. I felt very, very hopeless in that space. We was the kind of family where we didn't ask anyone for help. And so I sort of indoctrinated some of those like sort of qualities, and I had to unlearn those things. Like, you can ask for help, you can seek support. You do not know everything, but when you're coming from a space without, it's embarrassing because it's expected of you to, if you're having children, where are the two parents? Both of them should be sharing the load in maintaining the household. Both of them should be sharing the load and making sure that you have everything. Right. And one of them is not there or consistently there and leaves the other one high and dry to figure everything out on their own, and you're witnessing that as a young person, right. You're just like, well, if she's figuring this out, I guess I'll have to figure it out too. Right. Wow. I think one of the biggest leap I ever made was when I stopped playing football. That was like sort of like my proverbial fuck you to my father, because I wanted to do something different in my life. So when I was in high school, about 11th grade, I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna play ball anymore. I felt like football was what connected me and my father, and I no longer wanted to be connected to him. So I can feel you on that. So at that time,
I can feel you on that.
So at that time, I was just like, well, school is straight, school's easy. Obviously, here I am, future Dr. Ballard. So I was like, yo, let me just focus on academic scholarship route and just leave football in the dust, even though I love the sport, man. Oh my God, I can commentate a game like it's nothing. But I just didn't want to be associated with my father like that anymore. So I told folks, I told my family, I told everybody I ain't playing football no more. And he looked at my mom and was like, why you let him do this? And mind you, he wasn't even in the household. He still was trying to dictate my life. And I was like, I'm not playing ball anymore. He was like, man, you fucking up your athletic scholarship. Your athletic scholarship is the ticket. That's the way to get yourself in. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it my own way. And look at me now, you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of shit that me and my father joke about to this day. Is about like me literally just standing up to him and telling him what I was going to do, and then me actually following suit on that. I think that was how I earned his respect, because I actually followed up on what I said I was going to do. But
wow.
I mean, this is very heavy, man.
I mean,
this is very,
bro,
this is very,
bro,
very heavy. I mean, our producers, our producers.
Okay,
yo,
okay. So I gotta speak on my father,
deeper.
bro. I gotta speak on my father, bro.
We gotta go.
Bro. 1999, Oxfordtown Homes, right across the street from the Walmart off of Tar Boulevard. I had a green bike. Right. I had a green.
Granny Smith green?
Bro.
What kind of green?
Bro.
What green we talking about,
Bro, listen, bro.
It was
Listen,
X bike.
Bro, it was, yes, bro. It was, bro.
I had one of them too.
Bro.
Next to Mongoose, boy.
And what was great about it is that it ain't great, but somebody stole my bike. Listen to this, though. Listen to this though, right? Somebody stole my bike, right? We used to put it right in front of my grandmother's and my grandfather's apartment in Oxfordtown Homes. But guess what though? About a year later, my grandparents moved into their first home off of 8290. I mentioned it last time. 8290 Highland Drive, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30290. Ain't nothing to it. And what's crazy about it is that it was snowing outside. And for Christmas, my father brought me this brand new mountain bike. It was blue and gray, right? And he brought in this bike, and like, yo, I remember like I damn near started crying, because I remember what it was like when them kids, somebody had took my bike, and I ain't have a bike. I had just learned to ride without the tricycles. You know what I'm saying? I was on that vibe, bro. And my pops brought me that brand new bike, and I remember riding around the neighborhood, and he was running with me. You know what I'm saying, bro? And you know what I mean? And bro, for me, like that was a big moment, bro. Like my pops, he made sure that I had another bike. He made sure that he was rocking with me. He was running with me, you know, even though I know he really didn't want to. And that's the type of love that I needed. And then I also remember where I ain't want to wash the dishes, right? Let me tell y'all real quick. I know we got to change topics. I ain't want to wash the dishes, and Pops, I remember this like it was yesterday. We were in the apartment, okay? He was saving money to get ready to buy his first house, and you know, I came home from Stockbridge High School. You know, I'm smelling myself a little bit. When you get in high school, there's something that happens with a man where you smelling yourself a little bit. And I was smelling myself a little bit. And my pops was like, he expected the kitchen to be all clean. I just came home from band practice. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So you know, I'm talking big shit. You know, hey.
I guess so.
I guess so. I'm talking right.
Day,
so I'm talking big shit. My pops like, you ain't gonna clean. Hey son, you ain't gonna clean kitchen. Pops, I just got home. I'm tired. Like, you just got home from work, right? Like, I'm tired.
I would have got smacked.
Yeah. So look,
I would have got smacked in my face.
But look though, right? So let me tell you how Pops played it. He said, "You tired?" So don't worry about it. Anytime a parent says, "Don't worry about it, bro,"
Worry about the shit.
it, bro. Worry about it, right?
The funniest thing is,
Bro.
why don't parents just see that you're a human being too, and you have
Bro.
a long fucking day?
Oh, bro, that's a whole.
No,
other
no, 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 no,
That's a
no,
real
no, no.
conversation.
No,
We're
no,
gonna talk
no,
about
That's
man.
a whole
that.
other conversation, bro.
That's a
right?
whole other
Bro,
conversation,
bro. But look though, right?
Like, we in
Okay.
school like a 9 to 5.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? So I've been in school, I've been grinding hard, I'm getting all A's, I'm playing in the band, woo, 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 woo. So, I get home, like, man, I ain't trying to wash no dishes. But like, I ain't washing no dishes. I'm like, Pop, I'm tired. Pop said, don't worry about it. So I ain't washed it, I kind of like, look, I ain't washing dishes then. So I started walking off and he said, he was eating popcorn watching a movie. That was his thing. We had a red love seat, and he would eat popcorn and watch a movie. And so he said, "Son, come here." He said, "Son, come here." Real calm. He said, "Come here. Move over just a little bit. Come close." And he put his popcorn down, and he put his Coca-Cola down. He said, "Son, come here." And he punched me right in my face. Bro. He punched me right in my chest, bro.
Bro.
Yo,
the
he
whole
punched
time,
me right in my chest,
The whole
bro.
time, all I felt was
I was
this
waiting
nigga
for the- I was
was
waiting for the
beating
slap.
shit
I was
out of
waiting
this
for the
nigga,
slap.
Bro, but let me tell you, bro, right?
Cave your chest
So
in.
when he caved my chest in, I just hit the ground, right? I couldn't breathe, right? But I understood.
What'd you understand, brother? Tell me, my nigga. What you understand?
Look,
I just understood that nigga hit hard as fuck.
I understood that I sacrificed for you. And even though you may not see it, and even though you may not know, you're going to feel it. You better recognize it because you need to know it. And for that, for no, bro, for real, bro.
So, all right. Let's talk about what Mike was talking about, which was therapy. What are some therapeutic practices to keep yourself? All right, so now at this point, right?
Yeah.
We've agreed and we've acknowledged, we looked ourselves in the mirror as 28, 29-year-old men,
bro.
that we are men, and we've learned from the sins and the blessings of our fathers, right?
Yeah, blessings.
So
that was a blessing, bro.
So what are some practices, what are some therapeutic practices that you do to sort of keep yourself in shape?
Right.
Because we talked about this earlier.
We did.
When you face adversity, what are some things you do to remind yourself that you will overcome, you will find the solutions, you will plug and play, and you will try to find your way to the summit by any means necessary? What are some therapeutic practices?
Yeah.
What are some ways you express self-love as well?
Yeah.
In times in which,
shout out to Pops.
when you was telling the Pops you was tired, you wouldn't get your chest.
I was like,
Your chest caved in.
Hey, man. Have y'all seen the movie Cool Runnings, brother?
Yes.
I
The
think
bobsled
I've seen
team?
Yeah, the bobsled team, Jamaican bobsled team on Disney. Have you seen it?
Okay. I think
Do you remember the part where my boy Junior was in the mirror and he said, what he said?
I see a man. I see power. I see
No.
a bad mother.
He said, I have pride.
I have pride.
I have power. I see a bad mother who won't take nothing from nobody. I say that stuff to myself every day, bro.
It's real.
Do you understand that? Do you know why?
He said it silently. He said it to himself.
Wait, time out. I do say it silently, brother. Because
certain person, sleep in the next room ain't got time.
Yeah, brother.
Listen, pride and power.
Listen.
Bad motherfucker don't take shit from nobody.
Listen, y'all haven't seen my wife, bro, when she sleep, bro. All right, you can't wake her up, brother.
Yeah.
All right, do you hear me? Because if I say that shit in the mirror, bro, while she sleep, dog, guess what? I ain't gonna have no pride.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna have no power. And I ain't no bad motherfucker at all. But I said it to say this, brother.
Right.
That's the things I say to myself every day. Another thing that I do is that I go to therapy once a week. Shout out to Dr. Tucker once again. Dr. Tucker. Dr. Tucker.
You'll be sponsoring videos soon.
Yo, that man has helped me out so many ways in therapy. So I recommend therapy for real. Not necessarily to work with problems that you have, but things that you haven't dealt with from childhood to now. Mm-hmm. And those are things that has allowed me to progress and to move forward as a man. But for my brothers, I need to ask, what's y'all's therapeutic thing that you guys go through?
For me, we got the gym.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. We can say participating in your favorite hobbies. You know what I'm saying? So that's shopping for me. That's the interior designing. That's YouTube University. Just going there and just.
What about shooting, brother?
Gun range for sure.
Gun range for sure.
You
Gotcha.
already know the strap is always
Yes, sir.
somewhere around. Very
Always
close,
around.
brother. You
All
understand me? It used to be swimming,
Yeah.
but I stopped that. I haven't started therapy yet. That is a goal for this year to actually get involved with the therapy situation. Masturbation.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You
No.
gotta get that in, bro.
Yeah.
brother, once a day.
Gotta hub it out, man.
Once a day,
Bro, that's
I don't know about that, bro.
Once a day.
Once a
Maybe
day.
once or twice a week.
Once a day.
you know.
Yeah, once or twice a week. Sometimes.
Once a day.
What else?
Mike, it's hilarious.
This is so.
Pilates, bro. I got into Pilates.
Bro, you gotta put me on that. I'm unfamiliar.
I have
Gotta
Mike
open
doing
them hips up.
Pilates.
Gotta open them hips up.
Okay, I'm
As a man, gotta open them hips
So
up.
I'm going for
I'm
Pilates.
unfamiliar.
It will
It leads,
whoop
it
your
leads,
ass,
it
brother.
leads into
Pilates?
other things very well.
That shit, it don't even sound
this is
hard.
hard.
It
This
don't
is
even sound hard. I guess
So,
I'm
you ever
getting honest,
order
but it don't sound hard.
Pilates is worth the investment.
It will whoop your ass.
It don't sound hard at all. Yo.
So about you, man, your form of self-love, man, and
Bro.
therapeutic practices, and you know what I'm saying, to keep yourself sharp.
Yeah, so for me, I'm a little bit different, bro. I'm not really the therapy type, you know. In terms of what I do for self love, number one, I spend time in introspection with the scripture, and for me,
It's a Bible study.
yeah,
No therapy, but Bible study.
yeah, like I really spend time with myself in silence. You know, because a lot of times, you know, the scrolling on the Instagram or the music in your ears when you're running or the phone calls that you're constantly getting, the text messages that you're getting, I turn my phone off and I'm quiet and I'm still. And I'm able to really resonate with whatever the frequency is that I'm trying to tap into. And I speak to myself, and sometimes people think that that's weird, but I really
Speaking to yourself is pretty.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm speaking to myself to really speak out. You know what I'm trying to accomplish, what I believe in. You know, whatever the mission is, because again, as I said earlier, that without a mission, there's no submission. So for me, like my therapy is really just really focusing on that thing that I believe in wholeheartedly and giving it 100%. And honestly, whenever I'm confused about something, I talk to my father. Like my father brings a lot of clarity to me because he's been in a similar position, or he can provide some guidance. And I'll say this, but before passing the mic, he said something to me about becoming a man. He said, in order to attract the best, you must become the best version of yourself. Right. So you have to invest in the essence of who you are, and then you're going to attract the person in which you're meant to be with. So that's
you know what's crazy when you said that about when it
crazy?
came to your father?
Yeah.
My dad used to tell me all the time, bro, like, ain't nothing new under the sun.
Facts.
That was like, he used to tell me that all the time. Every time I did some shit, got in trouble, whatever, he said, son, I know what's going on. Ain't nothing new under the sun. I didn't know that until I became a man.
Wow.
And I realized, like, yo, my dad was in the same predicament.
Yeah.
Like, Jay, like, that's crazy, bro. Like, real talk, like, y'all, how y'all feel about that? Like, what's y'all whole thing when it comes to that type of stuff, like therapeutic wise or anything like that?
Well, for me, I agree. Well, I practice everything that y'all talk about. So I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is, I do everything in silence. I don't even look at my phone for the first 2 hours. Unless I'm like calling my mom, my girl, whatever, and as I'm heading into school. But other than that, I pretty much get myself together. I meditate 15 minutes. I do my deep breathing for a few minutes, and I just sit in silence. And I just think, also pray, whenever, mandatory 3 times a day, but whenever I feel the need, I just pray and always, give God credit, because, God is the greatest. And I always say that to myself too, because I always look back. Whenever I meditate, I always look back on how far I've come, and also I envision where I'm going, but also I try to nestle in between that space of just enjoying my present. And so I agree. So when it comes to therapy, for me, I go to therapy twice a month, and it's just another option. Just another option and a way for me to just vent, get things out. I like therapy because that's where I just vent and I get things out, whether it be frustration or ideas, plans, and I can act in a myriad of different ways, emotions, feelings, and the therapist will just sit there and just pretty much just take it in, and then just ask me different questions that will lead me to where I already found my own answer. Mr. Bland, remember Mr. Bland from
Matt Bland.
So he used to tell me. He used to tell me all the time. He used to tell me all the time. He was like, "You have the answer to your own questions. You have the answer to your own questions." And I just be like, "Talking about, man? I'm venting right now. I don't have an answer, obviously, if I'm venting." He was like, "Nah, just listen. Just slow down and just listen. You got the answer to a lot of your own questions." So that's why I take the time to talk to myself. And also, y'all know I write, so I'm a journal guy. I just opened up the page to my 12th. I just opened up the page to my 12th journal. November 27th this year will be 15 years since I've been journaling. So for men, if you have not, if you know what I'm saying. So for men, for men who feel like therapy is not my option or this or that, like you have to get it out. You have to get
That's a fact.
You have to write it down.
Yeah.
There are times, but I went back in my journal from 2013. I had like 7 goals. I accomplished 6.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, okay, by this point, I'm gonna have salary position. By this point, I'll have my master's. By this point, I should be here. By this point, I should be there. 6 out of 7. And that's confirmation. Confirmation that you knew you had it all along. You just had to believe and you had to walk in it. And you had to also be patient in it. And then also know that faith is one of the things that must be constant, regardless of adversity, regardless of even when you were in a moment where you feel like you're triumphant. You must keep faith as your priority.
What was the 7th? What
I want to know.
I'm curious. Is that bad that people want to know what the 7th is?
It has to be marriage, bro.
I felt that, bro.
2013.
Are we right? Is it related to marriage?
Jay, I met you in 2012?
Bro, we met this man back in high school. Okay, with
2013.
Okay, yeah. Back in high school. We graduated 2011. Morrow High School.
2013.
Okay, 2013. Okay, Georgia State type. Okay.
That's 2013.
Shout out to Fort Valley. We're going to get to that.
No, it wasn't
Fort
marriage.
Valley, bro.
The 7th.
Shout out to Georgia State, man.
I know this man. Hold on. Pause.
The 7th.
I know. I asked you a question.
Stop it.
Shout out to Fort Valley.
Jesus Christ.
Shout out to Morehouse College.
Hey, man. Shout out to Howard Law, man.
Yo,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm my bad. That was ego.
Anyway, it was a age marker by 32. I had something down for 32. 32 was always a number. Was always the age for me that I wanted to have something done. So I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Okay.
So I want to see how I want to see.
It's still a present goal.
So it's still a present goal.
I wrote it down 2013. Got me that. I mean, whatever it is,
He's stepping into fatherhood.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about it.
But yeah, so as we're talking about, the last part of my therapy is sex. So as we talk about sex, that is a part of my manhood. That's part of how I found myself was through sex. So I would sort of close this question out to y'all about like, yo, when your manhood, when you found you be the man, pops ain't really, it's you now. the same time my sexuality and like my understanding of that this is a part, this is an act that I must, you know, act upon and acknowledge. It's not something that I have to conceal anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing I can hide away from my family about anymore. Like, this is something that's a part of my life. It's part of my livelihood. Like let's talk about that.
How long did you hide it from your family?
That I was a freak? About like
That you was a freak.
that love me some black women, man, and black women only. Maybe. Sheesh.
We're gonna talk about the sacrifices we made for them too.
22, 1.
Oh, nah. So I got a funny story. So right.
When we talk about the story I know, like moms.
Oh my
like,
God!
you
Automatically assume it.
Here we go.
Automatically assume you know the story.
We go with the story.
Best friend, but they know the story, bro. So like,
Yeah.
boom. So we talking spring break, junior year of high school.
Talking
You
about
know
such
what
and
I'm
such.
saying?
Talking about such and such.
Such and such. I remember
your boy
that.
16 years old, done got some yams. You know, prior to all spring, bro, we was watching porn. It was just my high school sweetheart, by the way. So we was already together maybe a year and a half or whatever.
Shout out to her. Hope she well.
so
Hope she will, brother.
So yeah, we watching porn. We getting our eyes together, but we ain't following no action. So I say spring break, junior year of high school, bro. I lost my virginity, bro. And like you said, you waited to 21, 22.
No.
To tell them.
To tell my family that like this is my life. Like it's not just something that I'm just like, oh yeah.
You addict?
We ain't gonna get into that.
You
We're not gonna get into that.
My life, bro.
This is my life.
No, because
Last time I heard it was on MTV
because
too.
to be sexually active is not nothing to be ashamed about. But for some reason, it seems like there's some stigma about being sexually active and voicing what you like to do because this is what you prefer. Because you're starting to become more self-actualized as a human being and as a man. I started to just put my foot down. Like I'll put my foot down and everything else. Okay, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Well, yeah, I'm gonna pursue some women that I like, and if the opportunity presents itself.
Put your foot down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that was a
right.
part of me also finding myself as a man too. Like
Right,
that sort of
right.
kind of came simultaneously. That's why I'm asking y'all, like did y'all feel that same way? As y'all were finding yourselves as men, did you also like begin to take on the other aspects of your manhood, which is sex?
Fellas, I'm gonna be honest with you. Are we J. Cole fans?
Not adolescence.
Are we J. Cole fans?
You about to shout out to the.
Hey man, shout out to the song "Wet Dreams" by J.
Wet
Cole.
Dreams,
Bro.
yeah.
Listen to the song,
Yeah.
bro, and that's everything for me.
No, it's
Straight up.
It's real.
And honestly, that's most of 95% of men. How they came up when it comes to sex. Straight up.
No, that wasn't me.
No. I said 95. You must be in the 5%.
We in the 5%.
Yeah.
We in the 5%.
I must be in the 5% because
We just have to
most
be on the
men,
panel.
Wet Dreams, J. Cole, look it up, read the lyrics, and you understand what I'm talking about.
Yo, I mean, I'm just saying,
Bro.
as we've like talked throughout this whole episode,
Yeah.
like as we were defining ourselves as men, you see how multifaceted that is.
No,
how
for
colorful
real.
that is. It's not just you
Yes, that-
you having a dick and you being classified as male,
Nah,
you know,
bro.
your
Nah,
birth
bro.
certificate, and you having all these expectations bestowed on you to make these actions. Like, nah, we had influences. And we had choices to make, and we had habits that we've, taken on, and we had let fall off
Indeed.
to help us along the way and find out who we were. You know what I'm saying? Who we are, who we still want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, bro.
It's a fact, bro.
I feel that, man. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Good shit, brother.
Yeah, good shit, bro.
I didn't know you was that. You freaked out like that.
Yeah.
bro.
I didn't know you was freaked out like that either, Jay. Like,
I just say, right?
that nigga said, I'm gonna be free. I said,
Cause I'm
nigga.
like, I had my high school sweetheart, so that's how I found out about sexuality, bro. I was paranoid. I couldn't watch porn. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
You was a late bloomer, bro.
I was
forgot about that.
honestly, I can say that I was a late bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
I felt very self-conscious. I felt guilty, or I felt like I was doing something wrong, and I can honestly say that was something that I felt. it was something that I wasn't supposed to be doing when engaging in
Is
an
that
act.
from a religious standpoint? Like battle?
I don't know. I just was like, oh, this is bad. Right? I'm not supposed to feel this good. Like, what am I going and searching for? Like, I didn't even know about the private tab until, bro, I got, bro, honestly, like, I really didn't know about
Incognito?
I didn't know about the private tab until, like, junior year of college, bro. Like, I was like, bro, I was, you know, again, and we're going to talk about this, but I was a virgin, like, going into, you know, college and, you know, for an extended period of time. I just wanted to really experience that with somebody of value. And I can't say that I did, you know what I'm saying? But I can say that I tried, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah. I mean, maybe if things were different, maybe my mindset would be different. But, I mean, right now, it's, you know, listen, man.
Hey, man, I was busting cheeks back in F days. Shout out to Charlotte Middle School, dog.
Hey, shout out to middle school. Hey, look, damn.
Yes, sir.
Middle school?
Oh, life comes at you fast.
Bro,
Look.
listen, man. I was one of them fast. I was one of them fast niggas that you had to watch your daughter out for, brother.
I was just finding the
8th grade,
Yo,
brother.
I
I
cannot wait till next episode when we get more into this. Man.
I was in there, bro.
We got stories.
Sex is next.
Sex is next.
But to the kids that are in 8th grade right now, wait till you get older, okay?
Yo, damn,
Wait till
man,
me.
they're not doing it right now. They're not listening to you right now, man.
Yo.
Alright, but yo, like shit, man.
Yeah.
Is that a rap, man?
That's a wrap, man. That's
a wrap, brother.
Get out of here, man.
Hey, special shout out to Waukesha, man. You've been watching, you've been faithful, and I appreciate you for everything that you.
Hey, shout out to my beautiful wife. Our 8th grade wasn't nothing. All I care about is what we had going on currently to this day, all right?
Shout out to my baby, you know what I'm saying? You know I'm only a freak for you, girl. You know what I'm saying? You know how to do that.
Bro,
Are we dropping names? You dropping names?
Ari, I love you, baby.
Thank you, bro.
The cap is real.
The cap is so
If y'all
real.
ain't know this, I ain't gonna do y'all like that.
Listen.
Yeah, my niggas, bro.
Say this for the next episode, all right?
Yo.
Damn.
Next time you see me, I won't have a scarf.
Did you have a scarf the last episode?
I didn't. I had a jean jacket. I was hot as fuck. I told you. I was hot as fuck. But I was dedicated to the mission.
Nigga, I
because
have
without the mission,
There's no submission.
Yo, put that on a fucking t-shirt.
Yo!
Straight up.
Yo!